The vehicle for spiritual awakening is presence, awareness, to become conscious of that which I was not conscious of previously. Because before we start the spiritual path, we don't even know that we are in the illusion. We're actually spending the majority of our life in our thoughts without even knowing. We live in a reality that is constructed through interpretation of reality. We are not actually experiencing reality as it is, but we're experiencing it filtered through our mind. But before we start the spiritual path, we are not even aware that that's the case. We simply believe that these people are fucked up and the world is a messed up place and things are unfair. Things are not the way they should be. And on the positive side of things, we also believe lots of stories of the mind that might seem positive, but are also in some sense binding, because we are not experiencing reality simply as it is. Our mind is projecting onto reality its interpretations, its assumptions, its conclusions. A newborn child, when it comes out of the world, it's experiencing everything unfiltered. Now, I'm not saying we need to go back to the state of a newborn child. We don't need to lose all the things that we have learned. We don't need to lose our ability to communicate and to navigate the world and to tie our shoelaces. But we can lose certain self-harming mechanisms that we've acquired along the way, or some reality disfiguring, these reality bending interpretations of the mind that actually make us suffer. Because the nature of our suffering lies in our conditioning. It lies in the beliefs and the structures of ego and mind that we have created that distance us from life. And when I mean life, I really just mean this moment, just as it is. I don't mean your life as the grand scheme of things, just this moment is life. You could use the word life, you could use the word God, you could use the word consciousness. This moment, right now. You're seeing me, you're hearing me. And maybe there's some thoughts going on about what I'm saying. Maybe there's thoughts saying how there's no thoughts. Maybe there are very subtle interpretations. So this moment is life. This moment is always the material at hand, the material that we have as the vehicle towards awakening. You never need to be Eckhart Tolle, the present, the power of the present, the power of the now. What is it? What's the name of the book? The Power of the Now? No, The Power of Now. I can't remember. It's pointing towards that reality, that all there truly is this moment. And some people will feel like, wow, that's a cool philosophical idea. No, it's not. It's an actual description. It's trying to describe life, the way that it actually shows up for me. And that's the spiritual path. It's essentially the endeavor of going beyond that which I believe about life and actually experience it for what it is. And in that realization, there is also the end of suffering. Because it is our own mental distortions, that's the word I was looking for earlier, distorted reality. Our distorted version of reality is what makes us suffer. Nothing and no one can make you feel any way, any particular way. No situation, no person can make you feel a particular way. It is the way that we receive it, the way that we perceive it, and the way that we interpret it that dictates how we experience reality. This moment is neutral. It's a blank canvas on which the mind can project any interpretation that it likes. However, before we are aware that that is happening, then we suffer its consequences blindly. So that life, this moment is unfair, this person doesn't care, this group of people shouldn't be doing that. Shoulds, this idea of shouldn't, that something should not be. It's this constant fight. We're at war with reality through our minds without even noticing. Now, once we get a first glimpse, a kind of realization that, oh my God, my thoughts are responsible for my experience of reality and are responsible for my suffering, and that what I think is not real, it is only what I think. And then as we have this realization, there's usually a deep curiosity that comes towards all the places in life where I have projected my meaning onto it. And what we find is that it goes really deep. My sense of self is one of those. The person that I believe myself to be is another projection of the mind, a creation. It's a fabrication. Once we start realizing this, we realize that there truly is nothing outside of ourselves making us suffer, and that all the keys are within us. It is within you. Within you are all the answers, because within you lie the distortions. And so the more we can shine the light of presence, which just means becoming aware of, giving our attention to the mental activity that is going on, we've realized that we're constantly making assumptions about life, putting post-it notes on everything. This is this is that. And that is what's making us suffer. And the more we can shine the light of awareness in this moment, with the intention to experience it just as it is, we realize that there's only 5 things. There's sight, the experience of sight. Right now you can connect to the whole visual field, all the way to the edge, unfiltered. Just the direct experience of sight. Then there is sound. You can hear the sound of my voice, maybe the sound of the kids yelling in the background. Maybe there's some sounds around you, some cars, some people talking. Maybe even the buzzing in your own ears. Then there's the experience of feeling, sensation. I can feel the wind on my skin. I can feel the ground beneath me. And I can feel a certain sense of joy in my chest and belly, because emotions are also sensations. And then there's of course taste and smell and thoughts. That's it. That's what composes your entire reality, 24/7, all the time. Sight, sound, touch, smell, taste, and thoughts. And the more we can connect to the direct experience of reality, which is just connecting to this experience unfiltered, without the overlays of the mind. And essentially the very act of meditation, the simple awareness of breath, is basically training attention to stay with a direct experience without the mind coming in and adding its 5 cents. because it's not needed. Our mind is so impulsive and restless, but it's not needed. And so there's two ways of experiencing thoughts. Essentially, sight, sound, sensation. It's this direct experience. There's anything that I would say about it is added to it by thought. Any like or dislike about it is added by thought. Any judgment, assumptions, suppositions, any names, any distance, separation, added by thought. The direct experience of sight, sensation, sounds, you can connect to that during your day. You can plug into the direct experience and experience reality unfiltered. But you will see the mind is so, first of all, it's relentless, but then it's also creating interpretations without us realizing. And that's the reason we can kind of experience thought in two ways, which is the great mystery, the mystery of why we are asleep in the first place. I can either experience thought as a direct experience, just like sound, sensation, and touch. For example, if right now you imagine a bright yellow lemon in your mind, you can just observe that, look at it appear to you. You don't even need to close your eyes, just see it. See that bright yellow lemon. That's a direct experience. You're witnessing it like watching a movie. But thoughts also has this tendency to hypnotize us. And then we end up experiencing thought without realizing that it's thought. And that's when we end up suffering. Because my friend says, I don't want to go, and you hear, I don't like you, fuck you, I don't care about you. And we don't even realize because it's so quick and it's been so habitual since birth pretty much. Been building up this mind that is constantly projecting onto everything. So there's kind of two ways. We can either plug into direct experiences through the senses, like I mentioned before, or we can become curious about our thoughts and start experiencing them as direct experience instead of unconsciously. We start experiencing thoughts consciously. And you can ask certain questions to make these unconscious thoughts conscious. For example, what is happening right now? And you wait. You wait for a thought to answer. You don't look for an answer. You don't answer the question. You wait for an interpretation of this moment to arise. What is happening right now? Does the mind have an answer? And if it does, can you see that it's just a thought? Writing thoughts down can also really be helpful. It happens to me once in a while. I'll get a bit caught up in a storm of thoughts. I'll just start writing them down, and it just de-armors them, you know. They're just words. They're just sentences. They're just blah 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 blah. Oh, they like my friend better than they like me, and oh, it's because he puts more effort in, and he's more talented, and it's all stories. The mind is constantly making stories, and the more we can experience reality, not that which I interpret, the more we're at peace, because this moment can be peaceful without the involvement of the mind. There's just sight, there's sound, there's sensation. Can I just be with that? Even now, I'm feeling very present with what I see, what I hear, what I feel. And some thoughts will come, and you just observe them. It's all just a cinema, all a show you can watch. And each time you're simply in this state of observing reality, the world, life. Thoughts that used to capture you in their hypnotic delusion start to simply flow by. So I hope this video inspires you to be more present, and I hope you enjoyed it.